Welcome everybody to the War and Peace Baseball Podcast. Here today with Farbode Markazi, Alex Rudy. I'm Alex Udy. I can't say my last name. Man, it's a rough morning. Let's get started today by paying our respects to the Braves fan that passed away on yesterday. I believe it was the 29th. And this is another instance of a fan falling off of a second deck or some very low railing that is at pretty much every stadium, and I think it is at the point where it can be considered a problem, and something has to be done about second deck seating, whether it be a higher railing or some kind of safety net underneath, but this happens way too frequently for the state of the game. So
yeah, the first time I saw this happen, it was Josh Hamilton throwing a ball to a fan in Texas, and then the fan reaches over, he falls to his death. And then 2 years ago, another thing happened in Atlanta, and then yesterday, I mean, it's bizarre and it's horrible.
Yeah, so I think MLB is going to be taking this very seriously. Obviously, everybody has been paying their respects and their condolences to the families.
The Braves sent out a statement about it.
Yeah, but I think the most productive thing that they can do is try to instate some sort of safety precaution.
That won't mess up how they
the railings that go up to the waist level, and it's definitely not safe. And it's even more amazing how easy it would be for a kid to go through the railing or over the railing, and thank God it hasn't happened recently. I don't know, in the history of the game it's probably happened, but there's definitely some problems with stadium safety. So
I think there should be a way to find safety, but not mess with how you see how you see the game. Like, the waist level railings help you see the field and them playing really easy, but then it's really dangerous too.
Well, just a couple things that just pop into my mind pretty instantly are you'd have a higher protective wall that's see-through plastic, whatever, that type of material. Or you could even put some kind of safety net or platform below the railing, so if somebody does happen to fall over, they don't fall 30 feet and have that happen again. So, I mean, there's definitely ways to fix it. It's just something has to be done.
I agree.
Yeah. So, in the midst of all the playoff race action heading into September, we felt that was very important to address first. But now we can go ahead and get to the good stuff. The playoff race, we're going to talk about pretty much everything going on, all the teams that are relevant, which is a lot of teams with this 2 wildcard format. Let's go and start in the NL East with the Mets and Nationals, the only 2 relevant teams there. Mets really have, for the most part, won the games they're supposed to be winning and have taken a hold 5.5 game lead.
They're going to win that division.
Just straight up, you think they're going to win?
Yeah.
I would agree. The Nationals have no chance. They just lost the Nord span for the season. So.
I also think that if the Nationals played like the Nationals we thought they were going to be, even if they play like how we thought they were going to be for the last month, the Mets are still going to win.
Yeah, I mean, the Mets offense the depth is insane. People talk about Michael Kadire coming back and how is he going to fit in. He's going to fit in by producing. He's a really good hitter. People kind of forget about that. They're
wait,
he's going to have to look Conforto and
I need to stop you. Think about what you just said. 3 months ago, that would have sounded insane. The Mets' offensive depth.
Yes.
Think about how insane that would have sounded just a couple months ago. Maybe if you said pitching depth, people wouldn't blink an eye. But offensive depth for a Mets team, I mean, it's incredible. I don't think I've seen too many recent turnarounds where a team has totally just overcame their greatest weakness in so quickly within one season.
I think
without really that many major moves. I mean, they got Cespedes, but past that, I mean.
Well, they added Juan Uribe and Kelly Johnson, which helps a lot.
Kelly Johnson and Juan Uribe don't make the difference between the worst offense and a top 10 offense.
Well, think about they got David Wright back. They added Michael Conforto to the lineup, who's been very good so far. And also Kadire, who missed a lot of time, but, was a piece that they knew would come back. And, everything's working out. Even Lucas Duda doesn't have to carry this team anymore. He hasn't been hitting particularly great lately. So.
Starting a couple years ago, the Nationals had this huge window of winning. Like a time to win, chance to win the World Series. But that window is going down now. If they're not going to win this division. And then once the off season comes around, I don't know who they're going to lose, but next year their window is going to be smaller than it ever.
I agree, but to be fair to them, they had a horrendous injury luck this season that you really can't expect.
That is true. Yeah.
Every year, and really no team. I think it's kind of like Toronto had a similar case last year where, I mean, if you really are this unhealthy for the year, and the thing about baseball is that guys usually take a long time to come back into form after injuries, too. And I agree with you. I mean, they can probably replace Ian Desmond because they have a top
Jordan Zimmerman
prospect. I'm
sorry. Turner.
Sorry?
His name is Trey Turner.
Yeah, Trey Turner.
And then there's Jordan Zimmerman, but I think Tanner Roark would be solid.
Yeah, they'll probably lose at least two, if not all, of Zimmerman, Fister, and Gio. But I mean, they have Joe Ross. They have
Roark.
Roark. They have another guy in their farm system, AJ Cole, who's pretty up there. I mean,
I think they can be solid, but I'm just saying they won't be like that.
So they could sign another pitcher. But I agree with you.
I think they could be solid, but I don't think they'd be like the team that we expected to go deep in the playoffs the last
I thought they were going to win the World Series this year.
I thought they better have won the World Series this year, else this would have been like their last chance to win as this with this club.
Yeah, and I think it's fair to compare them to like the Tigers of 2 and 3 years ago, where they had
100%.
Or the Tigers of every year the last like 3 years.
Except there's one difference with that comparison. Those Tigers teams always had a clear flaw in their build, and that was a terrible bullpen. And this national team on paper has no obvious flaw. On just paper.
But yet the Tigers team managed to get into the playoffs despite injuries and everything.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, like, this is like one of those examples of, the on paper what was created on paper doesn't go to real life. And baseball is often a sport where the opposite is true. Where it doesn't look good on paper actually works. I mean, the Twins this year are a great example of that, or even the Mets. So.
Yeah, and I just want to point out the Mets' insanely easy schedule. They have series against Philadelphia, Miami, Atlanta a few times, and then Cincinnati. And they have 2 more sets against Washington, which is probably the biggest obstacle, but I think they can handle it. They've handled Washington throughout the season. So I'm not worried about that. So I think that's enough in the East. Let's go talk about the Central a little bit. The 3 best teams in the National League sitting atop that division. And it's interesting to discuss where they're going to end up. They're making it difficult for teams like the Giants and the Nationals even to sneak into the second wild card.
Because the Giants can't win in an even year.
Well, I guess that's just destiny.
No, they only win in even years.
No, they can't win in odd years, my bad.
I knew what you were saying, I didn't process that either.
But I don't know who I'm rooting for to win this division. I know the Cardinals are going to have, or the Cardinals, so they have like a good chance. And then, what's their lead right now?
Yes.
What's their lead right now?
I think it's like 2 games.
Yeah, and because the Pittsburgh Pirates have been on an absolute tear lately.
But the Cubs too.
It's 3.5 games on the Pirates.
The Cubs have been on an absolute tear too. but I don't think the Cubs are gonna get the division, even though out of those teams, I think the Cardinals have won the division so much. I want the Cubs to, but I don't know. I think the Cardinals are gonna
win the division. That's a push.
Yeah, that's a push, but because they're the Cubs and Joe Madden, and I love Joe Madden.
Do you guys know that Jake Arrieta was traded, along with, where is it? Pedro Strop or Scott Feldman and Steve Clevenger.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
I remember. They're pretty fun.
The Orioles clearly are awful at developing pitching because Jake Arrieta.
Arrieta was bad with the Orioles.
He was supposed to be like a reliever when he got traded, like a mediocre reliever, and he's an true ace. And I think the other thing is that the Cardinals' depth every season and their ability to just replace, they're like have you guys ever seen 300, the movie?
Yeah.
You know how, like the Persian army, this one in his place, and then over and over and over again. It's like that, man. Like, they just you can't kill them, no matter what, no matter who they lose in free agency, who gets hurt, I mean, who starts to get old, who they trade away, just someone steps up to replace them. You don't really see that in sports. They're a true dynasty.
Them and the Giants are the most prime examples of that, in terms of turning out replacements that produce constantly.
And they hold their, key guys that a lot of their guys have been the same guys throughout their years. They just fill in with the role players to help them win. Like the Giants, their role players play better than any other role players on any other team. And I don't know how they make that work.
Did either of you guys know who Steven Piscotty or Randall Greacher
I did
before the season?
No clue.
And they're having great years. I mean, did you guys think, John Lackey would have a 2.92 ERA this year? I mean, do you guys think Jamie Garcia would come back from his 95,000th arm injury to have a 1.77 ERA? Do you think, it's incredible. Like, I don't understand, I don't ever know.
While the Cardinals are doing what they're doing, the Pirates are slowly making up ground. They're winning pretty much every game. And I like their schedule going forward. I'm talking a lot about schedules, but it's a big deal. They've got teams like Milwaukee, Cincinnati, in Colorado still ahead, but they do have 2 more series against the Cubs, 2 more against the Cardinals, 1 against the Dodgers, which is also interesting. They really need to win these games. I think at this point, they're just rolling over every other team that's not the Cubs and the Cardinals. So, I think that's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting going down the stretch. And, Andrew McCutchen has not been in a lot of MVP conversations just because of Goldschmidt and Harper. But if the Pirates make the playoffs, the Nationals and Diamondbacks miss out. I think he's got to be in that conversation again, right?
He better be.
I think it has to. It's a very interesting year because I think the players in the National League this year, their teams aren't going to make the playoffs. Usually MVPs is a prerequisite that the team has to make the playoffs. So I would agree with you 100%. I mean, McCutchen's one of those guys who I feel like he's the pinnacle of underrated superstar, if that makes sense.
Well,
he gets a lot of love. He does get a lot of love, but he's not in those Trout Harper conversations, which is fair because he's not that good. He's not on that insane level, but the guy's won 2 MVPs already in his career, or is it 1?
I think it's just 1.
I mean, the thing about McCutchen is that he is the most valuable player, but he's also he could play. He's not the level of Trout and Harper, like you said, the MVP that they should win it every year. But McCutchen, okay, he's batting .305, 20 homers, 85 RBIs. That's good. He's very underrated, like you said. But the one thing that makes him MVP is that how much he also means to Pittsburgh in that team, and how much what everything he does is anything he does big, the whole crowd, everyone goes like crazy because it's Andrew McCutchen, you know?
Like personally, I think that I would give the MVP to Posey, but
well, the Giants have to make the playoffs. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, if you're playing catcher and doing what he is offensively, no.
He's not playing catcher every game.
I don't agree with that rule necessarily.
I don't agree, but that's just how it is, man.
How it
works. Yeah, that's how the voters are voting.
I personally, but I mean, you could also make the argument that the Nationals or the Diamondbacks would be awful without Goldschmidt and Harper. So
that's true, but again,
it's going to be a good MVP race.
This last month of the season is going to decide a lot of things, and I think it's mostly about that push that gets him over the edge. Buster Posey won his MVP because he pushed through in September and got the Giants into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens this season. But this NL Central conversation has evolved into an MVP conversation very quickly. So let's go ahead and talk about the NL West a little bit too. Dodgers and Giants are the two-team race there, and the Diamondbacks are kind of sitting around 500, looking to try to push their way up the wild card. I don't think that's going to happen with the Pirates and Cubs in the way, but they are doing a lot better than a lot of people thought.
2 weeks ago, or about a week and a half ago, I kind of made like small predictions about how I thought every playoff race was going to end up. And with the way the Dodgers were playing at the time, I put the Giants ahead of the Dodgers. But right now, it's a 4.5 game lead for the Dodgers. They're winning again. And
yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah. But both teams are horrible on the road. I just checked. Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and they have a few series against each other yet to come. So I think that's going to be a big factor.
3.5, not 4.5.
Do you guys know who has the most wins on the road?
The Giants.
The most wins on the road with the team that you just said is horrible on the road.
Oh, I thought you meant out of those two. Total? Is this like a stat game?
No, I just think it proves an earlier point that I made.
Cardinals?
Yep.
That's amazing. I think that's the safest bet for any category that has to do with wins. But yeah, the Dodgers, you gotta like them, even though their team is not exactly what you thought it would be. They're pretty much guaranteed to win 2 out of their 5 rounds in the rotation with Kershaw and Greinke. And then, the offense is good enough and the pitching is kind of good enough to probably win like 4 out of every 5 games still.
I think they're going to go to the championship series personally.
I have the Mets going for it.
I just think they have. I can trust them. Like a lot of these other teams aren't proven in the playoffs. The Cubs,
Cardinals.
The Pirates. Oh, obviously the Cardinals are, but I mean the Mets, the Cubs, and the Pirates haven't really shown that they're teams that can go all the way yet. And I know the Dodgers haven't done that recently, but they have the players. You have Chase Utley now. They have Jimmy Rollins. They have Carl Crawford, Agon. These guys know what it's like to go deep into the playoffs. And I think that sometimes makes a difference. If teams are all about the same level in talent, sometimes experience makes the final drop of difference,
Mm-hmm. And as it stands right now, they would be playing the Mets in the division series.
That's good.
You talk about experience against a team that is not used to the playoff scene in the last 10 years. So.
Wait, they would play the Mets in the division series?
Yeah.
So, the first 2 games of the series, the pitching matchups, that's gonna be insane. Kershaw,
DeGrom.
Kershaw, DeGrom, Greinke, Harvey. That's insane.
Just the first 2 there. And another interesting thing about the Mets I just wanted to throw in there, Harvey's innings limit is coming up, and they're not sure exactly what they're going to do about that. Harvey's innings limit is coming up, and that's an interesting story.
I think you should. I understand if your team's bad, like they were, a couple years ago, and you want to put an innings limit on Harvey, but you're in a playoff race. I don't care about if the Cardinals are well off now, but you're in a playoff race. You don't want to rest Harvey a little bit, and then, I don't know, the thing is, if you rest hitters, they lose their timing, but resting pitchers is just as bad too, that it messes them up. You want to keep them in the game, like, regularly for the playoffs to be, like, at the top of their game.
I remember, a couple of years ago, Strasburg was coming off of surgery, and they shut him down for the rest of the season.
And then they got eliminated in the first round.
That might have been their best chance to win the World Series. They got eliminated, I think, in the second round. And,
I don't know.
I think that's a bad decision. Innings limits are arbitrary. They're not a science. And it's ultimately about winning. So I would agree with you. The thing I thought was really interesting, just one last thing about the Dodgers, is that Jock Peterson just no longer starts every day for them.
Yeah, not surprising at all.
I think it is surprising.
Did the home run derby?
I'm not surprised.
Do you think the home run derby did something to his swing?
He has 22 home runs. I mean, those 20...
How many of those came before the All-Star break?
Probably like 20 of them.
That's true, but I'm just saying. I mean, his on-base percentage is .356, which is pretty good.
He can still draw a walk.
.213.
He can still draw a walk, but when you're not hitting for power and you're striking out, like 40%
of the playoffs, I'd rather have him up to bat than Enrique Hernandez.
Oh, I'm sure they will have him up. It's just, you can't play him every day at this point in the season when he's performing like that. You need to work something out.
He should be playing over Carl Crawford.
I don't know, should he? We'll
yes,
see.
He should.
Okay. That's I think that's gonna wrap up our discussions about National League teams.
What, you're not interested in the Padres World Series run?
I really am. I'm really interested in seeing how it will turn out.
Ted Krimble just got claimed on waivers by 16, so maybe we'll see him finally get traded.
Maybe. Speaking of a couple other arms that were traded, Fernando Rodney is a Cub, and he got lit up his first start.
His first start?
No, his first appearance. My bad. And there was one other. Addison Reed is to the Mets, which I like. So let's move on to the American League before we reach another tangent. Let's go and start in the East and talk about the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Battle of the Juggernauts in my mind.
Oh no, I don't think the Yankees are juggernauts this year. Maybe I'm just too pessimistic because I'm the Yankees. But, I mean, they're a very, very flawed team that relies a ton on, I mean, they're on offense that is based on guys that are having, bounce back years and might slump and that have had big slumps. They rank in the top, 5 or 6 of every major, offensive stat. But I mean, Mark Teixeira is hurt right now. And Chase Headley, Beltran, have been very streaky this year. Didi Gregorius, he'll have 2 games like he just had where you think he's the next coming of Derek Jeter. And then you'll have 9 games where you think he's the next coming of Stephen Drew.
And then there's Stephen Drew.
Yeah, I mean, past Gardner, Ellsbury, they haven't had a lot of, their lineup hasn't been that consistent, really interesting. I don't know, maybe I'm just too pessimistic.
I think you are.
Their pitching isn't good. And that's in the playoffs, that's gonna be very dangerous. I mean, you could make the point their best pitcher right now is Luis Severino. And he's like a 22-year-old rookie who's had 4 starts. So I mean, I don't know, when you end the playoffs, you have Tanaka for sure. I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna at least win a wild card spot at this point. They would have to collapse, right, guys?
No, I don't think they're gonna collapse.
But you have Tanaka, of course, yeah. And then past that, who would you guys give the 2 other spots to in the rotation?
I would like to point out Mr. Nathan Eovaldi, who's been great since the All-Star break.
His splitter.
I'm gonna throw some StatCast mumbo jumbo in there, but his spin rate on his splitter, which was pretty flat the first half of the season, is through the roof right now. And he's getting so many more swings and misses, a lot less contact, way lower batting average against. And he has been... It's easy to go out there with authority when you throw 100-mile-an-hour
thing about the splitter,
and a nasty splitter.
The thing about the splitter is that especially if you're Eovaldi who throws 98 to 100, if you can put that fastball down in the zone or locate it well, and then come back with a splitter, it looks the same and then it just drops. So if you have the fastball location, it works so well. And he's been pitching well since the All-Star pick, so.
Extremely underrated. And I think people forget that players
he's always had a good
that are highly touted
just
can
hasn't
make
had
improvements.
Any location.
Sorry. Wait, I'm confused.
Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah, I thought, why does he not have location?
No, Farbo doesn't know what he's talking about. It's okay.
He's not great location, but.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not. It's interesting because they traded Prado and David Phelps for him and Garrett Jones. Garrett Jones has been horrendous.
I still think they win the trade just because of Eovaldi.
And I'm just saying that. And you can make the case that Prado would have been really useful to play over freaking Steven Drew. But Eovaldi's come into his own so well the second half of the season, which I think me and you, we always kind of believed in him, based on what you saw beneath the basic stats in him in his career.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's gotten great run support this year, but, I mean, the guy has the foundation of a very good number 2 or 3 pitcher. He's still only 25. And I think, this is the beginning of being a very solid guy. So you think he's their number 2 in the playoffs?
No. Well, yes.
Who's their number 3?
Luis Severino.
See, can you give all that responsibility to a guy who's 22 years old and has had 4 major league starts?
Yes,
that's a lot
because in those starts,
shoulders.
One of the surprising things that I've seen is poise. He does not give in to hitters. He does not give in to hitters.
He has great poise. He acts very mature on the mound.
He's been very impressive in his pitching approach. He does not give in to good hitters. He will command his breaking ball in the zone, which is nasty. And, you talk about these highly touted prospects, the stuff obviously is there. And then you see a guy like this with such poise and confidence in his pitches. It's scary. And I think he will be one of those, X factors down the road in the playoffs.
It's funny, this guy was never on the radar map as a prospect a year ago. And then, I don't know who discovered him, but one of the major, ESPN or Roto World or whatever guys mentioned him on their top 100 prospect list. In the past year and a half or so, he shot up from 73 to all the way in the top 10s. And as a Yankees fan, who I think I know their prospects pretty well. I know Greg Bird, who's right now. I knew Rob Reiner, who played earlier, and I'd never heard of him. And I'm not usually believers in guys who come out of nowhere and shoot up right away.
So Eovaldi came out of the Dodger farm system originally, right? Yeah, he did.
Yes.
King of tangents. Okay.
Continue. But my point is just I always kind of doubted a guy who wasn't, who just shot up, out of nowhere. And then I still kind of doubted him, even though he's dominated insanely this year in the minors. But, I watched his first start. I watched how his stuff looked. I watched his poise, like you said. I watched just his intelligence as a pitcher. There was no more doubt. The guy is just a natural at the game.
Yeah. And another thing with the rotation, CC Sabathia's out of the picture for the season. Kind of, thank God.
No, they're doing a 6-man rotation.
Sabathia is injured.
Are you sure?
He is out.
No, I don't think
so.
Yeah,
he is.
He pitched the other day.
No, he's out.
He got injured, and now he's out.
Oh, I was going to ask you guys something.
Yeah, well, that's good. Because he's utter shit.
I don't know if the Yankees fans would ever be like, oh, thank God, Sabathia's done.
Yeah, no, but a lot of people have said the Yankees are better off without Sabathia, but a lot of people have said they need his leadership in that rotation for the playoffs. Because he has the experience for the playoffs.
I would disagree 100%. He can be a good leader from the dugout.
Yep.
You know who's really declined this year, and might be enough about the Yankees. We should But as much as I love talking about them, but Pineda it's just been an inconsistent mess. I mean, he went from possible ace in the first half to, I mean, he always gets fucking injuries randomly throughout the year, and now he's really having a very mediocre season at this point. But, I was looking up his fielding independent pitching yesterday. It's a full run under his ERA, which really shows that the Yankees defense is not very good.
Well, it is decently good. There's a few holes, but I don't think it's a lasting issue.
I mean, I don't know if I agree. Chase Headley's been awful this year. They have no right field defense.
Has not been great either.
Diddy's probably is that guy you think would be really good at defense, but actually is barely passable.
Yeah, same with Beltran. Beltran's not
his 28-year-old self anymore.
Everybody else, though, above average defender. I'll take it. Let's go ahead and talk about the AL Central.
We didn't talk about the Blue Jays at all.
Does there really need to be any conversation about the Blue Jays? They have frickin' Josh Johnson, Edwin Encarnacion, Jose Bautista, Troy Tulowitzki.
I'm happy. I'm happy. I know they're competing with my favorite team, but I'm happy for them. Honestly, just as a fan, I'm happy to see a team that suffered so much and made so many risky moves finally kind of get some luck for their sake.
Josh Johnson's gonna win MVP.
Yeah, I agree.
He's already a 100 player. It's not September yet.
How are the A's feeling about that trade?
Do you guys think they can go to the World Series?
Yes.
Do you think they're the best? In this, if you could pick one team right now to win it all, would you pick them?
their only competition is who? The Royals in the American League and the Astros, but I don't know.
I think they're significantly better than every team in the AL. The AL is not good this year at all.
Yeah, it's not. I agree.
So, that's the end of my conversation there.
Devin Travis is hurt right now, and they're still destroying.
Yeah, you think about the one position that they don't have, a huge bat, and Devin Travis kind of was that early in the season, so it's scary to think about their team. Let's go and move on. And
do we need to talk about the AL Central?
I think the Royals are comfortable.
How do the Twins win games? I don't understand. They're not good in any way.
Dude, they have a chance.
Ryan Dozier is clutch.
I'm sorry?
They have a chance. They're 14 games back. They just have to win every game from now on.
And the Royals have to lose every game.
Yeah.
How do they win anything?
Brian Dozier is clutch.
Okay, they have Brian Dozier and they have Glenn Perkins. So they have two players.
They have their outfield is very good. Eddie Rosario and Aaron Hicks.
I don't even know who those people are.
They are good. They are extremely athletic in the
Eddie
field,
Rosario?
and they hit.
Aaron Hicks for being a very fit. Okay, Eddie Rosario is batting .270 with 8 home runs. That's past.
Hey, 8 home runs for a target field is pretty good.
True. Aaron Hicks is batting .268 with 8 home runs. What are you talking about, man? And he's on the DL right now.
What are you talking about, man?
They're just a
Byron
shit
Buxton,
team
I agree, is not going to do much
baseball
for
is based on random luck half the time.
If that's what it takes. Joe Mauer is still probably one of the better approaches in the game, which helps, grind every game.
He has the least amount of power for a first baseman I've ever seen in the world.
Yes, that's also true. He's not a first baseman profile hitting-wise. Trevor Plouffe is extremely underrated, drives in a lot of runs. I don't even know who plays shortstop for them, honestly.
They have freaking Torrey Hunter right.
Torrey Hunter's okay.
Yeah.
He's a lot of homers, I guess, for his age, but that's it.
Yeah.
They have the great Eduardo Escobar at short.
Yeah.
He has, once again, 8 home runs.
They're the team of 8 home runs.
They have Kurt Suzuki, the former All-Star from Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah, geez. The pitching is, it's okay.
It's not okay.
Who's okay. They don't have anybody that's good.
It's not okay at all. It's very bad, actually.
It's amazing. Let's just see what the Twins can do. I don't have anything to
They're a terrible team. There's no reason they should be over 500.
Oh, actually, I do have a suggestion for the Twins. Bring up frickin' Jose Barrios already.
Yeah. Do what the Cubs did. Give your guys major league experience, and you're not gonna win the division or
we'll
get a
talk
wild
about
card.
this a little more. We're gonna go into September call-ups a little bit more later, but I think that's enough for our central conversation. You can mention the Tigers if you want, that they're pretty much not gonna make the playoffs. It's old news though.
I mean,
they're last
they're last in the division now.
Yeah.
And Miguel Cabrera is in that same category as an insane MVP caliber player that's not on the playoff team.
Well, he was hurt for a while.
He's officially qualified for the title.
The whole time he's been playing, he's been beyond MVP caliber.
Yeah,
caliber. Yeah, he's good. Miguel Cabrera is good. Breaking news. Let's go and talk about the
usually two-time MVPs and Triple Crown winners are pretty shitty at their sports.
Yeah, they're like eh. Let's talk about the West now though.
I have an announcement to make about that. Jurickson Profar finally made his debut in Low A. You remember that guy?
You were going to say Little League.
Do you guys remember that guy?
I do remember that guy.
Yeah, he's going to hurt himself again.
He's supposed to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. I remember him and Machado.
Machado is as good as sliced
prospects.
Bread. Machado is the sliciest of bread. Yeah, and on top of that, Joey Gallo is still, like, peeking through the curtains. But whatever, we'll talk about
Joey Gallo's in the minors?
Yep.
We'll talk about prospects in a minute.
But he's not in the majors, right?
Nope.
No. We'll talk about that later on. I'm ruining the whole September call-ups conversation right now. But just in terms of the Rangers, in their chances of making the playoffs, I like them a lot. Their pitching is pretty good when you look at it. Cole Hamels is still Cole Hamels. He's not going to be like a dominant guy, but he's going to be a front line guy.
I thought he was Jim Hamels.
Jim Hamels? Why is that? Explain. Is that supposed to be a joke?
Yeah, because he said he's still Cole Hamels.
That's so bad. God damn it. Yeah, and then Derek Collins back, who's always been good. Colby Lewis has been serviceable.
The rotation is really not that good, man.
Giovanni Gallardo has impressed.
They have 3 guys with ERAs above 4.
Giovanni Gallardo has impressed.
Okay, they have 2 pitchers who are, like, solid. That's it.
I think Derek Collins is solid.
He's had 2.
God bless you.
If they had you, Darvish, they'd have a really good rotation.
I agree with that as well. Next year. Yeah, but their offense is pretty good. Pretty darn good.
It's all about Josh Hamilton's season with them.
Yeah, he's a hero. We're kidding.
Is their offense really that good, though?
Yeah, let's talk about the Angels and how depressing they are.
It's very depressing. I'm very depressed.
Yeah, Mike Trout and Albert Pujols have pretty much gone cold, and that means the whole team has gone cold.
Yep.
So I think if there is a no-hitter the last month of the season, it's going to be against the Angels.
It is.
And Justin Verlander gave it his best shot, but,
Chris Iannetta, out of all people.
There's a lot wrong with the statement in this year. Dude, Justin Verlander lost a no-hitter in the 9th inning to Chris Iannetta.
Dude, that was Chris Iannetta's 6th hit of August. 6 in 40 at-bats.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. What? It makes me sad.
It was his 6th hit of what?
In August.
On August 28th or whatever this was.
Really? Wow. Kind of
really
impressive.
Bad.
A blind person might get more hits than that.
It's impressive how a position player can hit that poorly and start every day still.
Yeah, he still starts and pisses me off.
Mike Scioscia is an incredible manager.
They should have never traded Hank Conger. Hank Conger would have been starting.
I agree. I miss that man.
Yeah, speaking of Hank Conger,
Jeff fucking Mathis at this point.
We should have him on the podcast. We talk a lot of shit about him. Anyway, speaking of Hank Conger and the mighty Astros, people talk about how good the Astros are, and I look at them side by side with the Yankees, and I don't think they're better. You were talking about how the Yankees
they have better pitching but worse offense.
Yeah, and pretty equal bullpens.
Carlos Gomez has laid a giant egg for them.
Yeah.
He's been awful.
That's what that means. Thanks for explaining. But when you have Jake Marisnick and Preston Tucker, Colby Rasmus, George Springer's coming back soon, and that's going to help a ton. I think you've got plenty of depth in the outfield. And their team as a whole, it can score a lot of runs, point blank. It's like,
yeah, but
they're not Blue Jays good, but they're good. And they win a lot of games late in the game, which is the biggest separator between a team that's on the edge of becoming a really good team. And I think the Astros have gone over the edge. They are a team that can win a lot of games just based on what they can do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to take back what I said. Their offense is probably just as good, but their pitching staff honestly isn't really that much better. I didn't realize I thought they were having better seasons. Past Keuchel and Kazmir, it's really not that good of a staff.
Well, McCullers is back, and he's pretty good, too. We didn't have him for a while, though.
He's had a very up and down season.
Yeah. Mike Fiers threw no-hitter. That's fun.
Of course he did.
Of course. You can't have any big names throwing no-hitters this year, man. I mean, Max Scherzer, but everybody else, like Chris Heston, Mike Fiers, come on. Let's, yeah, I think that sums up the Astros. They're not the biggest names that are making the splashes, but they're gonna win this division.
I mean they have Juan Gonzalez, so guaranteed title.
I think they're gonna win the division, though.
Yeah.
I didn't say a title. I said they're gonna win the division.
I was making a joke, but I guess it wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't.
I thought Juan Gonzalez was a funny guy to you people, but
he hit a walk-off home run last week. I will take it in the clutch. Everybody in that lineup can go up there. Jason Castro can go up there when the game's on the line and hit a home run for them and win it.
Okay.
You okay there?
Hopefully.
Alright, that's gonna do it for all our playoff race division talk and stuff. Obviously, going into September, that's pretty much all we'll end up talking about, but, look forward to that when it comes. Let's go and talk about, finally, September call-ups and how it will change the game completely.
Okay. So, there are some guys that could be called up. Do you think Corey Seager's gonna be called up?
Yes.
Yes.
He's gonna play backup shortstop in third base, though.
Why?
How would that happen?
Because Jimmy Rollins has actually decided to hit now.
What?
Jimmy Rollins has decided to hit now. Justin Turner is not at a point where you can just flat out replace him. And that's what they're preparing him to do in the minor leagues. He's been playing some third base.
Why would you call up a guy just to be a bench player?
Just to get a feel for everything? A September call-up? I don't know.
They have a bunch of, backup middle infielders already.
I think he's better than, freaking Alex Guerrero or whatever.
Yeah, but it's not really relevant.
You guys are Yankee fans. Do you think Aaron Judge is going to be called up?
Yes.
No, that's not true. Cashman already said he's not getting called up.
I meant no. I wish they would call him up.
What about Barrios?
I want that to happen.
You would think so. Why isn't he up now?
Exactly.
I think for some odd reason, they're trying to, do whatever mumbo jumbo with the control over a longer period of time or whatever with him. And I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think they need to bring him up now.
And then there's AJ Reed of the Astros, who's starting first base, and he's doing really good in minors right now.
Yeah, bring him up, definitely.
Yeah, I think but you could bring him up before September to see if he does good, then you can have him for the playoffs.
Well, before September's today, so.
Yeah, you have to bring him up, today.
They're bringing him up today.
This guy isn't a prospect. He's nowhere close to a prospect, but he's gonna be back mid-September. Do you think this is kind of weird, but what do you think AJ Burnett's gonna do to the Pirates?
I hope he does not come back so they can finally bring up freaking Tyler Glass now.
He's supposed to come back. He's targeting mid-September series.
Well, I thought he was out for the season.
No, he's trying to work his way back.
Yeah, because
do you guys know that Wainwright might come back?
Yeah, he's aiming to come back for the playoffs.
And Stroman.
Yeah, that will also help. These are fun things to know about.
I think it's interesting because those two guys had injuries that in most sports were guaranteed out for the season with no chance to come back.
No, yeah, Wainwright's injury, you're normally like guaranteed to be out for like 10 to 12 months. He's like, no, I'll be out for 4 months. Alright, who else is there?
Well, I mentioned, Glasnow really quick, who has been absolutely dominating in AAA since he's been called up there. But, it's, even beyond that, they've got guys like Vance Worley in the minor leagues that have been pitching really well too, so rotation spot's not guaranteed, and they're not going to use him out of the pen.
Vance Worley's in the minors?
Yeah. But he's been pitching well in AAA too, apparently, so.
And then there's Gallo.
Gallo, yeah, he's had a taste, and they know what he can do, and they will use him every now and then. But he's not going to start. He has no place to start, so.
Do you think, before the 31st, actually, no, it's never gonna happen, but if the Rockies were ever going to find a way to get, Jose Reyes off that roster, Story would have been called up.
Yeah, that's also true. Trevor Story's very good. Very underrated.
Baez, he's doing good right now.
Yeah, Reyes needs to get off the Rockies. I don't know what's going on there. I kind of forgot about him. He's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, because his former team's just been destroying, and he hasn't.
Yeah, in short, I think the Blue Jays are fine without Jose Reyes and Troy Tulowitzki.
I don't think they're missing him too much.
No, not at all. Yeah, so other prospects around the league that could potentially be called up. Who else is there? There's, this guy's probably not going to be called up, but Blake Snell on the, Tampa Bay Rays has been absolutely dominating AAA since being called up too. He's dominated all levels all year, but they're probably not going to bring him up just because of, control reasons again. But, eventually a player makes his case strong enough, so.
Another guy with control problems is the only guy the Angels have in the farm system, Sean Newcomb. He's been doing really well in the minors, but they said they won't call him up at all, even though.
I think you brought up Sean Newcomb in like 8 straight podcasts.
Yes, I have.
Problem?
Yeah, what's your problem?
What?
I don't have a problem.
And then, I think if the Angels were good, they could have used him as even as a left-handed reliever out of the pen, because anyone can have a left-handed reliever that throws 100 out of the pen, aka Brandon Finnegan last year.
Brandon Finnegan throws 100?
No, he doesn't throw 100, but he throws like 90, mid-90s at least, and I don't know, he was a good arm, so he could have been like the Brandon Finnegan from last year, but the Angels aren't good, so don't waste his, service time right now.
Oh, speaking of young pitching, the Reds have used a rookie for every start since Mike Leake was traded.
Good.
It's amazing. That's pretty impressive, actually.
It's the longest streak in baseball history, and I don't think it's going to end in September. That's pretty cool, though. You look at a lot of these rookies. Raisel Iglesias is like, yeah, okay, he had one good game where he struck out 13 batters, but he gets hit. He gets hit hard. So, I think it's not someone that you want to really pick up in fantasy, but, the other guys are very serviceable, but, they haven't shown anything yet. They're young. They're rookies. What are you gonna do? So, yeah, there's, it's just the whole context of every single game in September, you have to deal with so many more young arms, so many fresh arms, relatively speaking, and it makes it a lot harder to come back and win games late in the game.
We were talking about the pitch, not the pitch count, the innings limit for Harvey. this will help him, like, help his workload at least a little bit, like, go down a little bit if they call up bullpen arms or anyone that could even pull him after 6 innings or whatever. Anything can help.
They just traded for a relief pitcher.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I mentioned that already, Addison Reed.
Oh, sorry. I missed this. I don't know. Ignored that.
I mentioned it as when we were talking about the National League or whatever, but go on, it's fine. So anything else to talk about with September call-ups? Are we good?
Nope.
We good?
Yep.
Alright. So it's time for Stat Game. Trademark.
Yep.
Trademark.
I wish. Yeah, so I'm going to be leading it today, Farbode against Mr. Alex Rudy. Let's see if you can take down the mighty Farbode. You feel it today, Rudy?
No.
Okay. Honesty is a virtue. Let's go and start with who is first in the Major League in doubles.
D. Gordon, there we go.
No. I thought you were going to say Didi Gregorius, and I would have slapped you.
Frazier.
Todd Frazier, no. Sorry.
Why did it take you so long?
I didn't hear him say, he was like, and I was like, what?
Joe's Altuve.
Nope, not Joe's.
Manny Machado.
No, I thought you guys were rotating too.
I
Oh, and by
swear.
the way, with the pronunciations, back to September call-ups, another tangent. We didn't talk about Javier Baez, who could be good for
I said that.
My boy.
I said Baez.
Well, you didn't say Javier Baez.
Josh Donaldson.
No.
I've had one guess. Morales.
No.
Who's Morales? Kendrys?
Yeah.
Kendrys. No.
Are we getting close at least?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Like,
how do you get close?
No, like, are we like 2, 3, 4? Like,
oh, I haven't been looking at that. I have it written down. I'll check for you though. Frazier was second, Donaldson was third, Morales was also third. No, wait, what? No, he's fourth. No, he's... Oh, it's a three-way tie for third.
Lorenzo King.
No.
It's not Lorenzo King.
Brantley.
It's not. Michael Brantley is the leader with 39. You win. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Rudy, you're screwed.
That was too quick, I feel like.
That was good. It didn't take frickin' forever like you guys picked.
That's just Farbode picks dumb questions.
He's like, who's 38th in runs per game or whatever. Fuck. Okay. My next one is who's second in Major League Baseball in hits.
D. Gordon.
No, he's first.
Dang it.
Second in total hits.
Yeah. I will give you a kind of a clue. It's pretty tough. It's not someone that would pop in your head.
Buster Posey.
No.
How was that a hint? You just said it.
It's not someone you would think of like as like
Cabrera.
immediately. Like, no, it's not Cabrera.
Oh, wait, no,
Josh Donaldson.
No.
Pollock.
Pollock is third.
Gardner.
No.
Goldschmidt.
Nope.
Harper.
Nope.
Trout.
Nope.
Cespedes.
Nope.
Brantley.
Nope.
Fielder.
Fielder, nope.
Ooh, Fielder, I really would have thought. That's a good
He's sixth.
Nelson Cruz.
He's fourth.
Kinsler.
Wow. Holy shit, Farbode. Ian Kinsler.
Oh my. What the? What is this
Farbode,
shit?
you definitely cheat. It's okay though.
I don't.
That should have taken a lot longer, honestly. You guys skipped some pretty big names, but whatever. Let's go and to the next one here.
Is there really any point?
Yeah, there is, because it's fun.
Okay.
You will have fun, and you will like it.
Okay.
Who is third in the National League in runs?
D. Gordon.
No.
Jonas Cespedes.
No. He would have had to score a lot since being traded, dude.
Goldschmidt.
Doesn't count totals?
No.
Goldschmidt.
No. He's fourth.
Pollock.
Pollock is first.
Hayward.
No.
Why?
He's just not. He's not even the
McCutcheon.
No.
Arenado.
No.
Marte.
No.
Granderson.
Fuck, Granderson?
He is 7th.
What? What the hell, man?
He's tied with McCutcheon. Okay, whatever.
Marte.
I already said
No
that.
again.
Learn to listen.
Chris Bryant.
No.
Dexter Fowler.
Ding, ding, ding. You won one, Rudy. You did it. You win.
Babe. Not
You win in spirit. Okay. Who is 2nd in the American League in strikeouts for batters?
What?
Like, from a hitting side.
Second most?
Wait, what?
2nd most
Chris Davis.
batter strikeouts. Like, they're hitters.
Chris Davis.
That strike out, not pitchers that strike people out.
So who's the second most strikeouts to hitter in the league?
Yes.
Chris Davis.
No, he's 1st.
Trout.
No.
Chris Carter.
No.
Luis Valbuena.
No.
Zanino.
No.
Cruz.
No.
JD.
Yes.
Damn it, I was about to say JD.
You're too slow. I couldn't save you.
Screw you, fucker.
Well, he wins, but I have one more. I will share it anyway, because it's pretty good. Who is 2nd in the American League for pitchers batting average against?
What?
What?
I understand what you're saying now. Wait, can you? I think we deserve to know if it's a starter or a relief pitcher.
Oh yeah, starters only.
Okay.
Sorry.
Archer.
No. He's 4th.
Hey, wait, is this Major Leagues or AL?
AL.
Keuchel.
No, he's 3rd.
Gray.
What?
Gray.
I just said silence. Gray's 1st. You've surrounded the pick.
So, what's his name on the White Sox?
Sale?
Yes,
No.
Sale. It's Sale.
No, not him.
Sale.
Price.
Sale.
No.
Burley.
Burley, no.
Kluber.
No.
Salazar.
No.
Uh,
It's gonna rock your noggin a little
Wait.
bit, this one.
Andrew Heaney.
No. I'll give you a hint.
What's his name on the Royals?
No.
Is it anyone on the Royals?
No. I'm gonna give you a hint.
It's the Royals. Who cares about the Royals?
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's somebody that you have to think of. Like, think of a really good stretch throughout the season, but not a great pitcher.
Estrada.
God damn it, Farbode. Yes. Marco Estrada on the Blue Jays.
There's no way that's true.
Well, believe it, Jack.
That doesn't even make sense. He sucks.
His batting average against is 210.
That doesn't even make sense. He sucks. That's awesome.
It's pretty crazy. But I hope you enjoyed that one. Freaking Farbode cheats. Like, still.
I don't cheat.
We have to, like,
Well,
monitor
he's
him
had
next
way
time.
better year than I would have realized.
Yeah, like, I think it gave it away too much. Like, he had a really good stretch where he was, like, taking no hitters into the 6th inning, like, every game. And, that'll do good things for your batting average against, I guess. So, that's it for Stat Game. Let's go and do our fantasy picks for this week. We didn't get to do them last week. We tried to.
My bad.
And we missed our weekly deadline or whatever. Because
I'm
we were lazy.
first, right?
No, I am.
What?
Farbode goes first. It's the same order as last week, just different players.
Why?
Because we didn't get to pick last week.
But, yeah, we did get the pick. We just didn't get to use the picks.
Okay. Rudy, it's enough of your sass. Farbode.
I'll take Encarnacion.
It's probably a good pick.
No. Terrible pick.
It's my turn. I will pick David Price.
I'm taking Paulie Goldschmidt.
Paulie Goldschmidt. Okay.
Holy gold shit.
It's you again.
Wow, tell us how you really feel from this. What did he ever do to you?
It's your turn, Rudy.
What?
It's still your turn.
Oh. I knew that, obviously. I'll take the, Busters of the Posies.
Yes, pick one of them. I'm just kidding. It's me. I will pick Chris Bryant.
I will take... Mad Bum. Oh, it's still my turn.
Yeah.
Nice. I thought you were pausing for 10 weeks. But apparently not.
Let's see. I'll take Piscotti.
Piscotti.
See, exactly.
It's my turn, by the way. Don't get too excited. I'm gonna pick Gregory Polanco.
What the fuck? Why?
Why not? Scared?
Why would you intentionally pick him? That's bizarre, man.
Scared?
You're a weird guy. I'm gonna take Chris Sale.
Why would you pick him?
What do you mean? He's 2 starts against Minnesota and Kansas City.
Teams that have historically done pretty well against him. But whatever. You picked him. Anyway.
Fine.
No, you don't get to change. Nope.
I'll pick Zach Greinke instead.
Nope. You already picked him too. You have Goldschmidt, Posey, and Sale. Verboten has Encarnacion, Madison Bumgarner, and Stephen Piscotty. And I have David Price, Chris Bryant, and Gregory Polanco. I don't care if you like it or not. So yeah.
Doesn't he suck?
Historically, yes.
Is he the one on the Pirates who's the former top prospect?
Yes, but in his last 30, he's been hitting like 350, and
the last what?
His last 30 games, he's been hitting like over 350, and he's been pretty good lately. If I need to justify myself, you suck. All right, I think our blood's boiling a bit too much over this one. Let's do our power rankings in
fight.
Later. Let's do power rankings and we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Alex Rudy wants to go first.
Wait a second. Okay, it doesn't matter. Roll, please. Cardinals, Blue Jays, Pirates, Royals, and pick any team that's in the playoff hunt for 5, because I'll just go with the Yankees because I like them.
Fair enough. I'll go next, I guess. I will pick Toronto first. I'm gonna have the Pirates second, and the Cardinals third. When's the last time you think the Cardinals were lower than 2 on any of our lists?
Well, for you've had weird...
I've had them in the second spot before.
Yeah.
I've never had them in the third spot, but I am this time.
Why?
Because the Pirates right now, I think, are playing better than the Cardinals. They're making up ground, and the Blue Jays are just wrecking everybody.
Why?
I don't know why. You should ask them.
Why?
You're gonna make me cry.
Why?
Anyway, I have the Royals fourth because they win everything, and
why?
I'm gonna take the Astros in the 5 spot.
Can I ask you guys a question?
No.
Before 5 hours goes, do you feel like this is a high or low era of talent?
It gets higher every year. You just don't realize.
The rookies make it higher, but then...
But excluding the rookies, because that's kind of like changes it. But like
the talent is a lot more balanced.
I feel like there's just not as many like great players for some reason.
That's because there's more good pitchers, and even the not as good hitters are, it's an era of pitching definitely. But you think you say this, but there's pitchers whose ERAs are. Like, Zach Greinke's ERA is insane, historically. So, it's definitely an era of pitching.
Alright. Mine are gonna be Cardinals, Blue Jays, Pirates, 4 would be, I don't know, Mets. And then 5, I'll put any random team like Rudy did. I'll put like, I don't know, Cubs.
Okay. And thank you for giving the Mets some love. I wanted to pick them, but they're not. They're probably 6 on my list.
Well, mine, they're 4 on mine.
Well, fine. Be that way. Anyway, that's going to do it for our podcast today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at WPB_podcast. And you can email us at warandpeacebaseball@gmail.com. Please ask us any questions you have, any feedback you have for us, anything that you want us to talk about, anything and everything. We will.
Please, we need human interaction. Please.
We do. We are craving it. We tweet, but we have no followers. It's pretty sad.
I thought we had 2.
We have 3. I think we got another one recently. So if you're out there,
you're just trying to lie to people to bait them into following us out of pity. I get it. That's a good strategy. I respect that.
It is. Pity us, please. Anyway, as always. God damn it, Farbode.
Peace.